What's up, film buffs and motherfuckers? Look who's back.
How we doing?
We're doing great, and like we do every time Nick comes here, we're here to talk about another Reb Brown movie.
The beast himself.
And today's movie is possibly Reb's greatest film, Strike Commando. Reb Brown. Christopher Connolly in Strike Commando. Man, this is quite a movie. Tell me, what did you think of this film?
It's a great film, you know. Really puts Reb right in the center of the action per usual, and he kicks ass, as you'd expect.
This movie is like the ultimate testosterone movie. I mean, there are probably a few more intense films, but this movie's just amped up to the extreme with muscles, guns, and yelling, just fist to fist, just over the top insanity. This movie, I think, is fair to say, legitimately crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of explosions in there was insane. So, money well spent.
I don't know what this movie's budget was. Probably, it had to have been a few million because of all these explosions. And I'm sure, I'll say, if it was, so worth it.
Yeah, money well spent.
This movie, like Maximum Overdrive, makes Michael Bay's dick shrink back. I love explosions.
This is a great scene.
Genuine explosions.
This is
Dirty son of bitches!
There's a certain beauty to real explosions, like actual fireballs,
of course.
that CGI just can't recreate.
Oh, no.
They're just so genuine. Like, 1980s, way before the age of CGI, when everything was real and they couldn't fake it. And this film is... It's a little hard to say if it's good or bad. I think it is a good experience. The writing and editing in a few places is definitely a bit cheesy, but it's a fun type of cheesy.
I mean, after watching 3 or 4 Reb Brown movies, you really gotta take a little artistic acceptance towards these guys. You know what I mean? It's not going to be the most well-written movie, but they nail their explosions, they nail the action scenes, and you got Reb Brown's yell, so
this movie is the ultimate suspension of disbelief movie.
Yeah, you just need to sit back and say, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the flow in this one.
Okay. Shoot it!
Like they can't see him right now.
Totally.
That's hilarious. Just getting bruised up while it's going down.
Hey, if you're gonna die, go out drunk.
Yeah, right?
At times, Strike Commando almost feels like a big cartoon, almost. The way the action sequences are done, the way the characters...
Chakota, he's a comic book villain.
I am Dakota.
This dude definitely gonna show off with Reb.
Watch. Okay, we should get into the plot, or some of what we're saying is going to sound a little confusing. Strike Commando stars Reb Brown as Michael Ransom. Good action name.
Considering he's being held for ransom, basically, most of the movie.
And good, ironic name. And Ransom is an American soldier in the Vietnam War, fighting the Viet Cong, and he and his special forces buddies are pretty much left for dead in the mission at the beginning of the film.
Hold on, you. Major, the depot at all costs, remember? At all costs. Get it? Oh, God. They're all dead. That's the risk they ran. They had another minute to go. The mission, Major. Above all, the mission. Your team did an excellent job. The strike commandos will always be remembered. They were heroes.
Fuck it, let's go home.
Yeah, you just killed 3 guys, Yep. Hope you can sleep at night, bud.
And Ransom ends up in the hands of a group of Vietnamese villagers trying to break away from the Vietnamese army, and as they're trying to escape, Reb finds out that the Vietnamese are working with the KGB, and he manages to escape and get back to headquarters, where he tries to get them to listen to him that the Russians are working with the Vietnamese, and the superior, Colonel Raddick, played by Christopher Connolly, does not fully, he does say he believes, but throughout the film he keeps trying to do everything he can to not
Screw Reb.
Yeah, he just does not. He does everything he can not to work well with Reb, and it seems like he wants Reb to fail.
Yeah, he's a clear static character. He's trying to get in the way of everything that should be being accomplished.
That superior character you see in most army or action movies, who is a dick to the hero, and
for what it seems to be no apparent reason. But,
and refuses to go with the answers that would solve everything.
One of them's still alive. Ransom, the best in the group, and the most highly trained. Well, this Ransom's gonna have to justify his position in a zone so far away from our lines. He's got 20 goddamn Vietnamese with him, without any authority. I should think you're the one who has to justify to Ransom. Major, I don't have to justify crap. You see, if Ransom's still under my command, I could have him shot for desertion. How about a drink, Major?
Doesn't make any sense.
Don't underestimate the man, Colonel. Ransom is no ordinary soldier. He's a war machine.
And upon returning, Reb discovers that all the villagers who saved him have been massacred by the Russian leader, Jakoda. Here it comes. And then Reb is hell-bent on revenge against Jakoda, and he ends up getting captured and tortured.
Those goddamn Russians are behind this whole deal. Now they'll torture his ass.
You'll either cringe or laugh watching this part. They're burning his back.
Tell us what you know.
Working out.
Eventually he escapes, and then it's discovered that Colonel Radek was working with the KGB all along.
Typical Cold War spy.
Yeah.
Screwing the Americans. Leaving Reb to die.
I can't go any longer.
Come on, just a little bit further. I know you can do it. Come on.
Mom's gonna pick you up here.
Colonel Radek.
He's going to kill you, he said.
You're nuts.
Radek killed your buddies. Radek caused your capture. We wanted a decorated soldier and he sacrificed you. Who better than you?
There you have it.
You're just making this up. You just want me to let you go.
Radek's working for the KGB. You thick-headed hero.
There it is, I knew it. I knew it. The Russians. The KGB.
Kill it. Eliminate him.
Beg pardon?
I said shoot him!
This guy's like, oh yeah, I guess we're gonna kill us, dude. Not really thinking at all. Let's just listen to orders.
What they said earlier, they say orders, you follow it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They didn't make a big note of that. So that checks. Oh, she eats pig. That's too bad. There wasn't much.
And after finding that out and at first killing Jakota, Reb returns to the headquarters and just sprays the bullets everywhere from his gun, yelling, "Radek, you traitor! Radek!"
Radek! Radek! You traitor! Radek! Come on, you traitor! Where are you? Ransom! Where is he? He's disappeared. He's our enemy. And $30 gotta pay.
And the government not wanting to, the American government not wanting to admit to such an embarrassing situation, refused to comment or do anything about it that could raise attention. However, the bureaucrat, as the film calls him, subtly hints that he'd be okay with Radek getting killed, just that no one's going to help them. And the film then has like a gap in time. Like one scene where at the end of the Vietnam War, which was sometime around the mid-70s, and then it cuts to the Philippines, which is funny because this movie actually was filmed in the Philippines.
Yeah, I thought that was a mistake at first, honestly.
Like most Vietnam War movies. And it says it's today, like there's no real time stamp, it just says today. So if it takes place at the time this movie was made, that would be late 80s, which implies that there's been a gap of nearly 10 or 12 years since the last scene. Just funny to think that that much time had passed.
Yeah, they did an awful job at kind of implying that time had passed by. You know what I mean? It almost seemed as if it was the day after.
Yeah, like no one looks any different.
Yeah. There was no indication that, 10 years have passed, so it was just, now it's today.
With the assistance of his good superior, Major Harriman, played by Mike Monty, he finds out where Radek is, and that if he wants to kill him, go ahead, but he's not gonna get any help from anybody.
Listen, Ransom. I can't cover for you or protect you. The war is over, so you're on your own. It's not over for me yet. I've still got one more bastard to get rid of. Then I'll call it quits.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah.
And take out the other bad guy.
And then Ransom goes in, kills all of Radek's staff in this building he seems to be working in, and
Where is he? Right here!
Show no mercy, Reb.
and then Reb kills Radek and probably the most awesome Reb Brown kill ever.
I don't know, it's debatable, I would say. It was great, but I'm just trying to think. There's been some... I think when he flew on, what was that, Petrodactyl or whatever in Yor?
It was a giant bat.
Giant bat, even better. That might have been his best kill. This one, though, he got the scream in it. I mean, it's hard to find fault.
The flying on the bat in Yor was awesome, but the blowing Radek up with a grenade launcher while doing his, I believe, his most intense yell, that's just my favorite.
It was definitely eventful.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go home.
Yeah, he's gonna go check on Ray.
With all the yelling that Reb Brown has done over the years, I just sit here thinking, how does this guy still have a voice?
Yeah. My issue with that scene was there was no closure. Like he didn't get to go up to Reddick and say like, at least just like speak his mind about all like the shit, I would say, I guess, that he kind of found out. You know what I mean? It was almost just like, okay.
That's boring.
Reddick
Besides,
didn't even get to, like, he didn't even know he was coming. Like, he wasn't expecting him coming until the very last second, and then it was toast.
Yeah, if he had too much talking, it probably would have seemed stupid. Like,
for this movie, you might be right that it might be better off just to go hit him with some.
There's some action movies. There's some action movies where people will be like, don't let the villain talk, just kill him.
Well, I mean, I want Reb to come up to him and say something like, "This is what you get for killing Lou, killing little kid."
Well, as we found out, Reb's not the best at one-liners.
He's terrible.
And then after blowing up Reddick, Reb prepares to leave, and all of a sudden he's ambushed by Jakota, who survived getting killed earlier, apparently.
With the only mark being he got new teeth.
Yeah, he got his teeth knocked out.
Wait.
Amerikansky, you're going to pay for what you did. I'm going to kill you for this. I've been waiting for this moment, Amerikansky.
And after blowing up Jakota...
Shut up!
That's awesome. Catches his teeth, I bet.
Yep, that's the teeth.
The only thing that survives is his fake teeth. And looking at him, Reb's like...
These Russian dentists make some pretty good dentures. Damn.
That was bad. That was a bad one.
He is terrible.
Living or dead.
The way he says that with such confidence...
I just didn't get the point of it.
That lets you know he really was trying to make that the closer for the movie.
And it was just like there was no like meaning behind it. But, you know.
Yeah. That's the most simple way of summarizing the plot for Strike Commando. Like all Reb Brown movies, trying to figure out the plot can be a bit of a brain puller.
Waste of time.
So as far as the movie's technicals go, what was your thoughts on the cinematography, B? The way they filmed...
That actually I enjoyed. Like, I mean, like, it was like filmed in the Philippines, which is a pretty scenic area. And, I mean, granted the fact that it's the 80s, they don't have drones to fly around and film the shots. Like, they did a good job of, like, kind of doing it raw, like, by themselves. You know what I mean? I thought it was...
Yeah.
I thought that was eventful. I mean... You definitely appreciate a lot more about these kind of filming. Like, was always seemed much harder to capture most of the shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can just tell by the way the cameras film, like, they're in a boat right now. Last scene, they're in a helicopter. Like, you gotta go out and actually find these scenes.
Totally.
Nowadays, you can just throw a drone up there and you're fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Takes away that.
And they're also shot on film.
Yep.
I mean,
which that comes with its whole set of pictures.
A lot of good
A lot
landscaping.
of, like, moving footage too. Like, I don't know. It was cinematography gets a A in my book.
I give it a 9 out of 10. What was your thoughts on the story, like the writing for this movie, be?
That would be the opposite. That I would say is somewhere around the D, F area. Just because, like, they didn't really develop any of the relationships. Like, you really couldn't get... You didn't know who the enemy was for the majority of the time. And then even when you did, it was kind of like, alright, well, what's their true motive here? Yeah, the writing was subpar, but that's not what you need in a Reb Brown film. You need a lot of action and entertainment. And
yeah,
nailed that. So.
But this is a review, so we gotta talk about it.
Exactly, and so in that sense, it just didn't. It clearly didn't prioritize the writing in this film. It was more spent on other areas. So it kind of, you could tell it wasn't.
Our Father who art in heaven.
Our Father who art in heaven.
Yeah.
He knows the most ridiculous stuff.
The action in this film, I don't think any words need to be said. It is awesome, dumb, but awesome nonetheless.
Over the top, but yet nailed. Like, hit the spot in the head. Like, definitely very entertaining.
The action in this film defies so many physics.
The fight between Reb and Dakota was arguably the funniest thing I've ever seen. There's not one punch landed.
Come on, hit me. Is that all you got?
You know,
They have so many moves, like the spider hand to the face.
yeah, there was somewhere absurd.
And that part where they just butted heads.
Oh, that was the funniest part. Yeah, I didn't get that. That was, they run full steam at each other, and then they both just, like, do a little head bump.
Ugh.
I break your back.
Watch this. Ow.
Remember the Vietnamese village?
I don't get it. Did they pop a vein?
It was something.
And then he just punches Dakota over a waterfall.
And is that how he lost his teeth?
Yeah, I guess, like, right in the mouth.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like, why does he even know that he's like, that he knew that loud, dude?
And it's funny, because that waterfall, I believe, was the same waterfall from Reb Brown's film Robo-War. Like, there was the finale of Robo-War took place on a waterfall, and I think it's the same one.
Okay.
And it wouldn't surprise me, because both Robo-War and Strike Commando have the same director.
Really? So
Yeah.
what, were they just like that one year, they're like, oh, let's just go film a couple movies?
Yeah. And both movies were directed by Bruno Mattei. Now, I'm pretty sure most of my audience isn't going to know, but do you know who Bruno Mattei is, Nick?
After your brief introduction, yes, he's a scumbag copier.
Mm-hmm. That might seem a bit harsh to Bruno Mattei fans, but when you really come down to it, he did do that a lot. I mean, it's not like he never made an original movie, but he made so many rip-offs that in this film, as well as Robo-War, Bruno Mattei is credited as Vincent Dawn.
The wood and the grass. Who knows? Oh, and by the way, directed by Vincent Dawn. Bullshit.
What do you mean?
That's Bruno Mattei's pseudonym.
Really?
This was something a lot of Italians did in the 70s and 80s. They would make kind of cheesy rip-offs or imitators of popular American movies, and they would be primarily for the European market, but they would also try to get them to the United States, where they hoped to make some money. And they would bill themselves in the American versions or the international version under a name that they thought sounded more American, because they feel like American names.
Plays the media.
American names attract more viewers. And I have to mention this because someone's going to leave a comment if I don't. Bruno Mattei is the favorite director of Brad Jones.
Oh, really?
The cinema snob.
It's pretty. And why? Is it because he likes how he spoofs all these major movies, or he's actually like fond of his work?
I believe Brad is very fond and he loves the exploitation, and Bruno Mattei was
The king of that, appears like.
well, he was one of the kings. I think Lucio Fulci beats him. In all the movies I've seen over the years, the most insane, the craziest, the most over the top have been made by Italian directors. And after seeing so many Italian-made horror films, I am convinced that Italian filmmakers are insane. They're
dramatic. They love the drama.
They are just crazy. They are nuts. I mean, it's like the word subtle does not exist in the Italian dictionary. And Bruno Mattei is the best example of this. He made so many movies, and even though this is a bit of a detractor, I have to tell you the names. Bruno Mattei is also the director of SS Girls, Hell of the Living Dead, Violence in a Woman's Prison, Woman's Prison Massacre, Robo-War, Zombie 3, Shocking Dark Terminator 2.
Wait, Zombie 3? What about Zombies 0 and, 1 and 2?
Other people made them.
Oh, okay, and he just kind of got...
But lastly, Shocking Dark Terminator 2. Made before the actual Terminator 2, so they tried to market it as like a sequel to people that wouldn't know any better.
Jeez.
Shameless, man.
Yeah, I would do whatever it takes.
And the movie was also edited by Mattei, once again credited as Vincent Dawn. And
I like that name, though. I'll give him credit. Vincent Dawn's good producer name.
Brad Jones would agree. And it was co-written by Mattei, once again as Dawn, and his frequent collaborator, Claudio Fragasso. Credited, he also went for a pseudonym.
Good. Look at this going.
He was credited as Clyde Anderson.
Clyde Anderson. It's a very vanilla name.
But it'll pass with the Americans. Americans.
The American. Take me to Disneyland.
And the music scoring is done by Luigi Ceccarelli, credited as Lou Ceccarelli. What did you think of the music in Strike Commando? Like all those kind of electric.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I
themes
liked it
going
actually. It had that like that 80s feel to it, like the 80s techno feel to it, kind of. But it was,
yeah,
definitely something you don't hear nowadays. I liked it. That was interesting.
the tone of the music, while I do enjoy it, it does shift a bit. Like I think this is a funny part. Like for the action scenes, you got all that hyped up techno, as you say.
Yeah.
And then some scenes, like the opening credits, where he's going down the river, you hear that doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. And not sure what to make of that. it just sounds soft and kind of mellow almost. The funniest music is the music that plays during the scenes between Reb and his little boy companion.
The whole relationship was odd.
Yeah, just that ding 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 ding.
Yeah, yeah, I do remember that actually.
Father Francois told me about a wonderful place where Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck live.
Disneyland.
Father Francois told me that to see it all takes a whole month.
They sure can. They have popcorn and ice cream growing on trees. A kid can get all the ice cream and candy he wants. All secret wishes come true there. Anything you want can be granted to you by the genie from the magic lamp. I'm here to serve you, little master. Command that I will obey.
He's a
I'm sorry,
creep.
continue, would you please?
Reb Brown
Now,
getting
go
sentimental.
back to sleep. Hurry now.
I'd rather not see it.
Take me to America when the war's over.